Hello, and welcome to tonight's episode of Party of Two. Okay, that felt super weird. We're going to do that again.
Okay, you can do that again. If you really need to.
Hello, and welcome to tonight's episode of Party of Two, where a married couple takes on a world of gods and monsters. I am your GM for the evening and for the story arc, Hayley.
And I will be your player character, Weston, playing as the Azamir Cleric Sorcerer.
And my PC is not a PC right now. She's an NPC, but her name's Ana, and she's a tiefling.
So our other character played by Hayley is Anduriana, the tiefling fighter champion of Pharasma.
Yes.
Don't downplay her.
She's a badass.
She keeps me alive.
She keeps him alive a lot. Welcome to tonight. For those of you who have never joined us and are seeing for the very first time, welcome. We are so excited to have you. We are a married couple, and we play Pathfinder 2nd edition, and we started playing during the pandemic, and there was no groups to join, so we learned how to play TTRPGs with just the two of us. So, that's how this all kind of came to be, is the two of us. So, Weston, give us some of our announcements, and then let's jump in, because I feel really awkward.
Couple important announcements. We have reached the goal of 5 subscribers, which
Yay!
means we will be doing a watch party of Dragon Slayer from 1981. We will be doing that towards the end of this month. We'll be releasing the official date soon.
Yes, and this is going to be a watch party for everybody. You can join and watch the movie, but the only people who will be able to comment and make silly things and whatnot are subscribers.
That's
so
right.
If you want to be a part of that fun joviality, if that is a word, go ahead and subscribe. Smash that subscribe button. If you have a Amazon Prime account, you can get a Twitch subscription for free, completely to you, but it helps support us as small content creators and streamers.
And if not, you can always just skip your soda or coffee tomorrow morning and pretty much pay for your stream.
Yay! There's a little plug for us. We have a podcast of this show that is currently on all the major podcasting platforms: Apple, Google Play, Spotify, Amazon, not Audacity. Audacity is an editing software. What's the Audible?
There you go.
All of those things. If you have a podcasting platform that you prefer and that you like to listen to your stuff on, just go ahead and drop it in the comments or send me a whisper or a DM, and I will get it on there just for you because I love you.
You'll also notice that down below me, there are some different commands you can now put into the chat to get information about different things, our schedule, as well as how to award hero points to the characters. Hero points is a Pathfinder mechanic that allows for the reroll of a D20 roll. Sometimes can save, or it can also, if someone's dying, it can bring them back to life.
Yes.
So you can use 500, I think it was 500 channel points to award a hero point to either one of the characters, Anduriana or Aas.
Are the villain points set up yet?
I don't think we have yet.
Have you not done it yet? He's scared of the villain points.
I don't want you to have.
Legitimately scared of getting those set up. So the villain points, when we get those set up, are going to do exactly the same thing, but for the creatures that we are fighting. It'll give the bad guy 1 D20 roll, reroll as well. And Weston keeps not. He's like procrastinating because he doesn't want to do it.
Nope.
He's like, no.
I die enough as often enough as this. I don't want more of that.
Anyway, do we have anything else?
I think those are all of our announcements for the night.
Okay. Well then, let's get started with tonight's episode of Party of Two. So last time on Party of Two, Anduriana and Aas were making their way through the wilds of Revenel, the new country that they had found refuge in from the evil citadel Enferak and the country of Cheliax. They met a colorful group of characters, Sir Michael St. Clair and his daughter Sophie, who happened to be an Aasimar as well. The first Aasimar that Aas has ever met. And the first Aasimar that Sophie had ever met was Aas. Through some fun interactions, Aas began to teach Sophie how to use her powers as an Aasimar and make her halo, which was very inconspicuous, start to dim and possibly even go away through command and will. They met with a few ruffian rogue type characters when they got to the first city that they attended, and learned that there is no underground in Canopy at all. Not at the moment.
I still got the makeup, though.
You did get the makeup, and he did a beautiful, wonderful job of helping Sophie to downplay her looks so she would not be as noticeable. At the very end of last week, the group was beset upon by a family group of dire wolves who attacked in the middle of the night, and that is where we are going to pick up. So, as the final dire wolf has died and Sir Michael St. Clair has come rushing out, and Sophie behind with her short sword out.
She has a short sword?
She has a short sword.
Oh, how cute.
Out, and he said, we heard they're fighting. What is happening?
If I'm not mistaken, the last thing I was doing was treating the wounds
of Sir Ulfric.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So I think I just finished kind of bandaging him up, or was in the process, I imagine, of bandaging him up. We have had some activity. Apparently some beasts. Please stay in the tent until we know that there will not be any further interruptions to the night.
You think that they are still here? The sun is coming up over the mountains. They are not. You think they are still coming?
I would like to check before we assume that we are safe.
Okay. And he turns around and he ushers Sophie back in, and you hear her be like, "But Papa, I have my sword. I couldn't fight. It is fine." And he ushers her back into the tent.
Ana.
What?
Can you send Bruce to do a circle, see if he senses any other wolves nearby?
Yes, absolutely. And Ana looks down at Bruce and says, "Bruce, I need you to go search all the way around. If you smell anything untoward, please come back and let us know, okay?" And Bruce telepathically speaks to her and says, "Right, I'll be right back." And he takes off to go around.
Check. As of course continues to treat his wounds. And
his own, or are you still working on Ulfric?
I'm treating
Ulfric's
wounds, and I will, as I'm doing this, thank you for taking the brunt. I am, as you see, not armored. It is not fighting in the front is not my forte. So thank you.
I figured that out when Ana decided to kind of charge forward.
Yeah, she tends to do that.
Yeah, well, Magdalene though, and he looks across to Magdalene, who's kind of like cleaning off her blade a little, her daggers a little bit, and like kind of checking everything around, and he says, "She's not one to mess with."
No, she is very, very capable.
That's a word for it. And at this point, you have kind of stitched up everything because you had done quite a bit of healing beforehand. Yes. So you've stitched up anything that was left over. And he kind of looks at it and is like, "You do good work."
I have been well trained.
I can tell. There's probably going to be a lot of work for you if you want up in the cities. I mean, I heard you say that you are leaving Cheliax?
Yes, that is why we agreed to accompany. We decided it was time to leave the Infernal Empire.
Yeah, well, It's not exactly a wonderful place to live, from what I understand.
No, it is not. Especially for some.
Yeah. Anyway, so he gets all the way up and starts looking around, and Ana comes over and says, "Is everyone all right over here? I mean, Bruce is fine. He's off doing his thing. Magdalene comes walking up, and she is one of her longer daggers, and she said, "I'm fine." So I think we're good for the evening, unless Bruce comes back with anything different. So
I believe that everyone has been healed completely.
Yeah.
Okay, no more. Well, good morning. That was not the awakening I had imagined you all hoped for.
Yeah, no. And she looks across at Ulfric and is like, I don't think either of us were expecting a wake up like that. But, that's why we do the watches. And you see you hear the flap of the tent kind of flip a little bit, and Tip leans out and says, I guess we're all awake now, so I think I'll start making some breakfast if that's okay. Do you think that everything's fine?
Yes, some food would probably be helpful to all. We have expended some energy. It takes energy to heal.
Okay.
Some food would be helpful.
I'm just gonna step out really quick and just start making a fire. Is that okay? And she's looking at you like totally like, am I gonna get bit by anything?
Yes. Do you need assistance?
I have Brennan and Steve. It's fine.
Yes.
We're fine. And all three of them start to kind of truck out. And then Sophie's like, Papa, they're going out there. It's totally fine now. Like, I'm going out. And she comes storming out of the tent. She still has her short sword out. Like, she's going to smack something. And just at that moment, Bruce comes up and over the hill, up to Ana, and says to her mind, There's nothing there. There's nothing there. What was that accent? My tongue is getting confused.
Aas is going to watch Ana's reaction.
And she just kind of goes down to one knee and she says, Good boy. And she gives him scritches, and then she looks at you and is like, we're fine.
The daughter's named Sophie. Sophie, would you please watch the woods to the west to make sure nothing else approaches?
Oui. And she turns very, very quickly and like with purpose, and she has her sword out and she's standing there, and Sir Michael is now out of the tent as well and looking at you like.
And so I walk over to Sir Michael and then quietly, I don't know if you want me to do a stealth or anything like that to see how.
No, it's fine. She's far enough away that
there is nothing to worry about. The woods are clear, but it will do her well to feel like she is able to contribute.
Oui. I understand that. I worry about her.
Yes.
Right. So I guess there is food to be made.
Yes, our companions are beginning to make the fire.
Okay. So at this point, the tents need to come down and the bedrolls all need to be rolled up, and I assume that you and Farmer Magdalene and Ana and Ulfric, like the team that kind of put it all up, is going to start taking it all down.
I will though walk up to Ulfric. I imagine he's kind of leading the takedown. Mm-hmm. So if you think that you all can handle the takedown, I do need some preparations this morning if I'm going to continue to be of use to all of you. That's totally fine. So while they're taking down, I'm going to do my morning preparations of looking at my spell books and stuff so I can select my cleric spells for the day. Mm-hmm. I imagine that I think I only really used cantrips and sorcerer spells last night.
Yeah, in the fight.
So I imagine this happened in the morning. I'm considering those used for the day already. But I didn't use any of my cleric spells, so I imagine I can trade those out. And
that's fine.
All right, cool. So yeah, I'm going to take that time as they're taking down to memorize and review my sorcerer spell, my cleric spells for the day, and connect with the magical energies as in my type of communion with Nethys.
Okay. Cool.
After I finish, how far have they pretty much taken down?
Well, it takes you like an hour to do all of that normally. It's done.
Yeah, so they're
at that point. They're all done. They've got everything loaded up into the wagons, and Tip and Brennan and Steve are done with preparing the food and have it all ready for you to eat.
As I finish, I walk up. I imagine everyone's beginning to eat there.
Mm-hmm.
I go sit next to Sir Michael.
Mm-hmm.
And I lean over. Sir, I do have a question for you. Something has tickled my mind, and would you mind if I ask you a question that has bothered me?
Absolutely.
From what I understand, you were going south to explore the possibility of trade through those parts.
Oui.
But everyone, and so this is not a normal trade route. But
well, it was. But after the separation from Cheliax, Ravenel shut down many of the road trade routes, and most of what we do now is through ship. But there is still viability of the normal merchant routes from Cheliax into Ravenel, and I wanted to see if that was a possibility yet. I mean, it has been years since the separation.
Because all the people in the town seem to know you, as if that was a normal thing for you to pass through that town.
I saw you thought that this is the first time that I have done this.
Yeah.
Oh, no. No, we have been going up and down the merchant route now from the Ravenel Road for 3 years, possibly. This is the first time that we have actually gone all the way down into Cheliax and turned around and come back.
So, if you did not continue down to Cheliax, with whom did you trade?
Well, my wife, she was from a very small town, and she was not able to get the fashion and the things that she wanted as a girl, and the thing that she loved to do the most when she was alive was to give back to the smaller communities. So Canapé is one of the last stops that I ever made, and I would turn around and go back. Most of the people here know myself and Sophie and Gwendolyn very well, but
Gwendolyn?
Oui, it was my wife's name. Yes, so but I decided our family has a very long history of fashion and garments for the royal houses of both the Chelaxian Empire and Ravenel now. So I thought maybe we would open up those routes again and begin to move south.
So you were was this a decision of your own, or were you tasked with reopening this route?
It was suggested, but I was ultimately the one that decided to do it.
Yeah.
It was something that I wanted. I do have family. It has only been 12 years since the separation. We do have family still in Cheliax. So I felt like it would be a good idea to go.
I'd like to do a deception check to see if is manages to hide his reaction to him mentioning they have family in Cheliax.
Okay.
Because that definitely would make him some nerves would pop up at that.
Yeah, go ahead and roll.
And I forgot to grab my dice.
Oh my gosh, every time. It's fine.
All right.
Okay.
That is a 13 plus 11, so 24.
Okay, yeah, no, you're able to hide it pretty well.
All right. So he says, "Oh, you have family in Cheliax?"
Oui, they are just normal merchants, and we all work in the garments industry and the, I guess, building of clothing.
You mentioned that your family has provided the garments for nobility for generations.
Oui.
Is your family nobility, or what is your standing in Ravenel and Cheliax?
We are nobility adjacent. If that makes sense. We do not really have anything to do with decision making or the court outside of. We do get. We have been offered many positions and titles through the years, but for me, court was not something I was ever interested in. I am not a political-minded man, so.
And if your family name.
Sinclair?
Sinclair?
Mm-hmm.
Can I roll society, see if I know, if I recognize
Please do.
this name at all? Oh, it's a 13, and my society is a 10, so 23.
23. You do recognize the name. It is one that did get circulated around Cheliax in the noble houses as a provider of very, very fine garments, but it is a fairly broad, like it's a larger family.
Okay.
So there are a lot of branches and shoots of the family that all do basically the same thing. So he being a part of that, it's definitely a family business, but it's like a family empire, essentially, of dressmakers and clothing purveyors.
Are you one of the main lines of the it was the, what was the name again?
Sinclair.
The Sinclair family?
What do you mean main?
Generally, when you've got an empire house like that, you got your main people.
Yeah.
It's like you got the Kellogg's. There are people who are actual like Kellogg's that like get the
heirs.
money. Yeah, like that.
Okay. I don't know. My father is. I guess you could say so. My brother and sister are the ones that are currently in Cheliax. But I was the only one on this side when the revolution happened, so I got to stay here.
And you run the family on this side of the border, in a way.
Oui.
And I imagine then you are with the events that are happening in Kintargo, that you are going to be very busy.
Yeah, we are already behind, which is a problem. But the Domina is waiting for a very specific garment that we are bringing for her. The fabric is absolutely incredible, but I had to go to get it in Cheliax. So that is the reason. I guess that is the main reason why we are down here. But yes. But I do think that you need to come to court with me.
In what capacity?
The Domina will most definitely want to meet the man and woman, and he nods to Ana, who's over there sitting with Sophie and having a little discussion. But she will want to meet you two who saved my life so courageously and have apparently saved Ulfric's as well, considering he is one of her men.
Oh, Ulfric is not your man.
Oh, no. No, the men that I would normally have hired for this type of a job, they unfortunately were up north, actually out of Ravenel at the time. So the Domina offered to give us her man to make sure, well, her men, unfortunately, not all of them are coming back. She may be quite cross about that. But...
So you are willing to present us
well,
as the court?
Absolutely. I don't know if I'll be able to present you officially in court, but I definitely want you to be there at their ball. You will have to come. And when we get into into Kintargo, you must stay with us. You cannot go anywhere else. There is nothing better than the green district at this time of year. It is so wet, which makes everything so green.
And he will bow, a courtly bow. He's like, thank you for your kindness.
You are going to, however, have to teach her, and he pointedly looks at Ana, how to bow as exquisite as you do.
Well, I will work hard.
Yes, I can tell she is more of a brute force kind of person and not really delicate. It is all right to say. It is all right. She cannot hear us.
Nod. He's just like, I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it. We will need to work with... I will talk with her.
And Sophie can more than likely help you as well. She grew up around the court, and Gwendolyn did a very good job helping her learn her P's and Q's, as it were.
Zamichael, I would never want you to think that we have deceived you in any way. So I wish to tell you that Ana was a Hell Knight.
Everything kind of stills in his whole body. Of what order?
The Gate.
He kind of relaxes a little bit at that.
Was not of her choice, and in the end was not a good fit.
And he looks over at Ana, who is continuing to talk with Sophie, and they're very animated and discussing what looks to be they're gesturing towards Bruce and talking about the dog. And he's just, you can see, actually, give me a perception check.
Okay. It's only a 9, but I've got a plus 12, so that still makes it a 21.
Okay. That's enough. You can see the extreme hesitation and the sudden distrust that is now present.
And so I want to use my diplomacy a little bit, see if I can kind of help sway his opinion back.
Okay.
The other way. Oh, Jesus, getting worse and worse each time.
An actual thing.
Where's my yeah? Where's? We can never find the second one.
I never remember the thing. The thing. There's the thing.
The dice tray.
That's much better.
All right, so that gives me an 11 plus 11, so 22.
Okay. That's
and
enough.
He will put his hand on Michael's shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
If you notice, the dog is not a normal dog.
Oui.
Andoriana is a champion of a goddess. And that does not fit well with the Hell Knights unless you are chosen by certain gods. which she is not.
Oui, that. That is quite a personal question.
I tell you this to assure you that she is a person of good standing.
This is quite troubling, but there has been nothing in her actions since we met her that has been concerning at all. I actually thought she was quite a nurturing and beautiful spirit.
As I said, there is a reason that she did not fit with the... It was not of choosing.
Oui.
We have talked about the difficulties of my heritage in Cheliax, but you know the difficulties of hers as well within the Infernal Empire.
If she ever feels so inclined to talk about it, I will be an ear, but...
I wanted you to not feel in any way that we had withheld that.
All right. Well, thank you for telling me. Honestly, this is going to take me a little bit to process, but thank you. Oui. And then he's going to kind of sit back, and his emotional state is very obvious that he's now feeling very conflicted and frustrated.
As is good. Well, I will leave you with your thoughts. Feel free to ask any questions that you have.
Absolument.
And then he's gonna walk over towards Ana.
Mm-hmm.
What's she currently doing?
She's just sitting with Sophie talking with Bruce.
He's gonna quickly cast message.
Okay.
To Ana.
Mm-hmm.
So, when you have a moment, I would like to discuss something with you.
All right.
And then he'll just walk away over to check on Ulfric, just kind of doing other stuff.
Ulfric's getting everything prepared now, and to go. And the three halflings have eaten, cleaned everything up. Farmer Magdalene has kind of been poring over a couple of maps that she has with her in her knapsack, and they are things are obviously moving to leave and get going. So
I'm going to check on the halflings. I'm just going to kind of just check on things and kind of bide my time until Ana can get away from Sophie for a moment, so I can talk with her.
Okay, so it's only a couple of minutes later where you see Bruce come bounding up to you, and he kind of does a little circle thing around you really quick and wanting scritches.
Az kind of reaches down, a little unsure what to do here, but kind of just scratch the scratch that someone who doesn't use the dogs does.
It doesn't know really what to do with dogs.
Pat.
Oh my gosh! And Ana comes up, and you guys are by the wagons, yes?
Yeah. Wherever, somewhere that's not quite in. I guess the moment she gets over there from over by the wagons, I'll just kind of motion to her a little bit away from everyone else.
Okay.
To just kind of get a little distance.
Yeah, and she'll follow you.
Ana.
Yes.
I wanted to let you know a couple of things that have been made aware, and some actions that I have taken that will affect you a little.
Okay.
I have found out that our good friend Sir Michael is very highly connected in the nobility, and he wants us to stay with them and introduce us to the Domina when we arrive.
Are you... I don't know if that's a very good idea.
I can see both sides. I want to talk with Magdalene about... Because on the one side, we can be connected very high up, which will give good access to information and resources. On the other side, there is a lot of scrutiny that would occur.
Well, are you still going to continue being Frederick? or whatever, like whatever lie you've decided to come up with at the moment? Or are you actually going to tell everyone the truth that you were a slave?
That is a tricky situation. Because if I am a slave to a individual with high power in Cheliax, it might become a diplomatic situation.
Exactly. And I feel like if we are introduced, we're both wanted individuals.
Yes.
If he presents us at court, then like they could come after us.
The level of how wanted we are will depend on how much do the Hell Knights want each of us back. If the actions of Kut Waldwin are any indication, Ana, I do not think they will want you back.
Me? No, absolutely not. They've probably already forgotten about me. You, on the other hand?
Yes, that is something I need to think about and plan with Magdalene on what would be the best course of action. However, knowing that this was a possibility and knowing that you are not a deceitful person.
No.
I then, with the connection and the influence I have garnered with Sir Michael, I did inform him that you were previously a Hell Knight.
You did what? And she's gonna, like, not know what to do with her hands, and immediately, like, you can tell she wants to hit you so bad right now. You did what?
Yes.
And she just turns around and starts walking away.
Ana, you got a message? She goes to her, Ana, please come back.
You do not want to be near me at the moment. I cannot believe you did that. And she's now turned around and she's like yelling at you from like 10 feet away.
Ana, please. Please.
And she's gonna stomp right back to you. Are you kidding me? You spend this entire time and it's all, we have to be deceptive and we can't let people know who we are. And then you go and just tell somebody without my permission.
Ana, we needed to give the smaller and less dangerous lie.
Why couldn't you talk to me about it first? I could have said something to him and I could have helped him understand. Now all he's going to see when he looks at me is the devilish Hell Knight.
That is not what I believe to be the case, and I have greater influence with him because of what I have done. And so I thought that he would trust my recommendation because of what I've done. Now I tell you, so now you can gain his trust with your honesty.
Yes, but now with my hand tied behind my back.
How is your hand tied behind your back?
Well, now I have to convince him that not only am I a good person, but that I am not an evilish Hell Knight.
Ana, I do not think that you will have difficulty with that.
You don't think so. But you haven't grown up with horns and a tail.
No, I have grown up with a halo.
Exactly. So everyone thinks you're perfect, and everyone thinks I'm the devil.
Ana, we lived in Cheliax. No one thinks in Cheliax that an Azamir is perfect, or I wouldn't have been sold by my parents.
Okay, fine. But still.
I am sorry that I did not consult with you before, but in the moment it felt like giving this piece would gain great advantage and would free you from... You could not lie in court, Ana.
I wasn't going to.
You would have had to.
No, I wouldn't. There's not a problem with telling the truth. A former Hell Knight turning to Ravenel is not completely out of the realm of possibility.
Exactly. But if Michael had not known, and then it comes out? Oh, who are these people? They traveled with me and never told me.
I understand what you're saying.
So,
okay. Look. Why you did what you did? Completely understandable. You are not off the hook for the fact that you did not consult me. And hopefully if the situation is ever in reverse, I have the right wherewithal to not spill everything you have secret. And with that, she's going to walk off to the carriage or not to the carriage, to go check on Siegfried, the horse. And
Aas then is going to look around for Magdalene.
Mm-hmm. She is with the all the crates and stuff and getting everything re-secured and climbing up on top.
He's going to walk over where the crates are and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's going to cast message.
Mm-hmm.
Speak to her. She's used to speaking in message.
Yeah.
Magdalene, Michael is offering to introduce us to the Domina and to the court.
And she's up on the seat of the cargo wagon, the merchant wagon, and she just kind of motions for you to come up and kind of pats her chair next to you. And for the sake of time, let's just say you convey everything.
Yes, I convey
to her
the situation.
Mm-hmm.
I will also tell her, with this possibility in mind, and knowing Anna's distastefulness for deception,
mm-hmm.
I offered the smaller lie up to him for telling him that she is a Hell Knight.
That's what she was yelling about.
So that will be his focus rather than the escaped slaves.
So that's what she was yelling about. All right.
Yes.
Okay. I can see why you would have done that. I can also see why she is royally pissed at you.
I am used to working
alone.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to have to change, as she is a Spitfire, and she's a Spitfire that you need to stay with.
Yeah.
That girl will protect you.
You know, I have always worked in the shadows alone, with no one knowing what I am doing and what lies I am telling. This is new.
Yeah, well, and she looks up at the horses that are getting all hitched up onto the wagons, and she sees Ana, who's standing there with Siegfried and helping the halflings get up on top of his back. And she says, well, you're gonna have to get used to it. But I will tell you one thing. I've met a lot of people in a lot of places. I don't think I've ever met anyone as clear as Ana before.
He looks at her a little confused.
There's no confusion in her.
There is much, not confusion, but
there's conflict.
Yes, there's a tortured soul there.
But she is clear on what she wants and who she is, so...
She is clear on what she thinks is right at all times. Which...
Yeah. No, I see that. And the caravan is about to start going. Do you want to stay here with Farmer Magdalene? Ana is up on top of the carriage, knowing that probably going into the carriage was not a good idea at this given moment in time. So if you would like to be situated anywhere else.
Actually, I'm going to first get down, and then I am going to grab some dirt. I'm going to rub it around, go to each of the horses, rub it along them, walk to Ulfric, who I'm sure is kind of leading everything.
Yep.
And then I'm going to... I have something that will help us. And so wait a moment. And again, take the dirt, rub it along. Let this god of magic make our way swift and I will cast Wanderer's Guide.
Oh.
On the party.
Great.
Which will then make it to where any difficult terrain along the way suddenly is not difficult terrain. We should help increase our...
We can truck it.
Yeah, we can truck it.
Nice. Okay. I like it.
And then he'll go sit back by Farmer Magdalene. Oh, no, actually, he needs to be in the
carriage?
Carriage.
We're going in carriage? Okay.
Again, with Michael and with Sophie.
Okay. Do you have anything that you would like to accomplish within the carriage?
No, instead I am going to spend the next little while talking with Sophie about her experience at court and trying to garner what she knows. Since he asked for my help on that area, I'm going to try and gather what she knows and what her experience level is in dealing with courtly parties and things like that.
She knows enough to get by, so she's able to convey to you the proper way to address other noblemen and women within court. She's also going to be able to kind of explain to you what the different hand placements are and what they mean when the ladies are kind of standing around talking with each other. Hands on top of each other means, you might want to write this down. Okay. Hands on top of each other when you're in conversation within court means that you are having a good time and that you enjoy the conversation that you are in. The left hand on the right wrist.
Left hand on right wrist, huh?
Left hand on right wrist means that you are open to other conversations and other people can come and discuss with you or join your party, I guess you could say. Okay. Wrists crossed, but hands not touching. So kind of like this. Yeah. That basically means go away. I am not interested in any conversation whatsoever at the moment. And then right hand on left wrist means that you are lonely and would like to have someone come talk to you.
I thought left hand on right wrist is open the conversation.
Left hand on right wrist, right hand on left wrist is that you are lonely and would like to speak with someone. Like you're open to conversation. So that one is specifically, the left hand on the right wrist means you can join the party that is already discussing things with each other.
The other one means you're approachable. If generally would be you sitting alone or something like that.
Yes. And that you are welcoming, you will welcome conversation to come in. So that is the kind of hand signals for the ladies of the court. That's
good to know. Did Aas know any of that beforehand?
No.
Okay.
No, you would have had to roll like a 30 or higher to get that.
So she knows more than Aas does.
Yes, so she knows more than Aas does. And then, so then she's able to also convey, kind of teach you the true proper way to do the men's bow. And Sir Michael also gets into like going through the motions with you and how to do everything.
So they're having to teach Aas how to bow?
So Sophie is explaining to you how to bow. And then Sir Michael is also teaching you how to bow, but you already know how to bow.
Okay.
So it's like, I don't really need you guys to do
I was wondering
this,
if the Revenel was different than Cheliax.
No, it's still the same.
They had mentioned, I think the other night when we were talking with the three hunters, that there were some Chelaxian nobility that might be there at the thing. Would I know at all, can I roll society to have any idea of which noble houses might be sent?
Sure.
10 but 20.
You don't really know. There hasn't been ever since what was his name, was kicked out. Thrune. Once Thrune was kicked out 12 years previous, there has not been a new Chelaxian envoy or diplomatic mission sent into Revenel. So
he is probably going to ask Michael. We had we were talking yesterday with some individuals in the town, and they said that there might be a Chilaxian envoy to this council of... What's it called again? I missed that.
Council of Peers.
The Council of Peers this year. Have you heard anything about this?
It's all been very hush-hush. They have kind of wanted to keep everything very quiet. There has been talk of the Chilaxian envoy coming, but the Domina seems very skittish about it.
Yes.
I can imagine it's a very delicate thing. If they actually do come to the Council of Peers and they are acknowledged, then it creates a situation where they are acknowledging their former masters in a way and giving them validity within the country of Ravenel. I do believe the Domina does not know what to do. But...
And so Az then is going to, knowing this, having brought up this possibility, he is going to then use a little bit of his knowledge of Chilaxian nobilities to kind of teach Sophie what would be the proper etiquettes if she does come in contact with a Chilaxian noble, and what the proper etiquettes would be on that side if they do come.
Okay.
So he spends the next little bit kind of teaching her those different types of social norms.
Okay, cool.
Again, always fishing for that value add to the relationship.
Yeah. No wonder you were a good salesman. Okay. And a very good employee. Okay, give me a D8 roll, please.
Okay, D8 roll. Like 5.
Okay. As you guys go along, it hits lunchtime. You break for lunch. You get to stretch your legs a little bit. Nothing happens. You guys have a fairly quick trip, actually, and you get to Brackenbauer, the city, just before full dark that night. You get to... Oh, sorry. To flip open to the right page in my notebook. You go to the Dancing Unicorn. When you come into this... When you come into this town, it is much larger than Canapé. And as you have continued on the road, there has been a lot more traffic the closer that you've gotten to Brackenbauer. It's a mid-sized city at this point. There's a lot of merchant shops that are like actual buildings, real shops. There's a few like carts that are out and some people that are still selling for the evening of different fruits and vegetables from the fields. There's some flowers, trinkets here and there. And when you get into town, you do go directly to the Dancing Unicorn and just, yes.
Could I roll a perception check, just try and see if I can notice and identify kind of what are the goods that I'm seeing? It's like that.
So are you like just in general the goods?
I'm trying to garner more knowledge for later conversation topics. If we are at court, I want to kind of understand the exports of the areas and stuff like that. That is conversation stuff. I mean, you don't have to detail for me what they are, but just does he... am I able to notice that? 17.
Plus your perception?
After the adding.
That is your perception. I mean, you guys got in just after dark, so there isn't a heck of a lot that you're going to be able to see. People are shuttering their doors, and
so they've closed down most.
Yeah, most things have closed down at this point. You do see a lot of vegetables though. So,
one last check I'd like to do as we roll in. Again, just kind of gathering some information.
You see me rolling.
Kind of. I want to use my underworld lore to see if I see any signs of different gangs and things like that like to leave signs around places.
Okay.
If I see anything I recognize, that's a natural 20.
Oh, snap!
So with my underworld lore, it might be a wasted 20 there with the area we're in, but just to check, my underworld lore is a 10, so that's a 30.
30, okay. As you are looking across the square, and you approach the dancing unicorn. It is a very light, very brightly lit building. It is at the far side of the large town square, and as you look around, you do see sunflowers. Okay. On the far side, up on what looks to be kind of like a 3-story building, a residential building, kind of like condos. And up on the 3rd story is a flag that has a sunflower sitting on top, waving. But in terms of any possible gangs or underground,
it's a safe area.
It's a fairly safe area, and that is very well noted considering the fact that the sunflowers are on the flag up there on the top.
Thank you for the raid.
Oh, thank you for the raid. -2 charisma.
Okay, so we've got a definite presence.
Welcome to all of you people, and me doing that made my dog get up off the couch. That was funny.
So doing that, so I'm acquainted. There's a Bellflower Network cell probably within and presence within the town, but I'm not seeing any other underworld type influence there.
And most likely, jeez. Thank you so much for the follow.
Family Fantasy RPG, yay!
Family Fantasy RPG. I feel like you're my kind of people. Yes. Welcome. Freaking seriously, with the sound, I need to stop with the sound. Startles me every time. Okay.
Oh, so we also got nearly 2.
Louise. Thank you for following. Oh my gosh. And video. Okay, are we just gonna do a follow fest? We're gonna do a follow fest. Thank you, guys. Hold on. What was that? OG Mega Elixir, Benny the Knife. Knife? Is that knife?
Yeah, it's knife.
Knife. Kniff. Just a Beeb 1. Oh my gosh, you guys. You are so cute. Thank you so much. You did not know this, but my goal at the end of August was to be at 100 followers, and you guys just like massively made that happen a lot faster. Thank you. Holy cow. I will interrupt our stream to say a big thank you. I feel like I need to sing you guys a song. Was it in the Discord? Was what in the Discord? Oh my gosh.
So what would you sing?
I don't know. What should I sing?
I don't know.
I'm not going to stop you. What's a good song to sing? Oh my gosh, you guys. Okay, here, stop the music really quick. Okay. We will get back to the show here in like 2 seconds, but I feel like I need to like tell you guys how much I love you by singing you a song. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to sing a song. Oh, I sang this song just a little while ago in the stream. So I'm going to sing it again. It's My Mother Told Me, and it is a traditional Viking. It's a traditional Viking piece written back in the 1820s. The translation loosely into English is quite poetic. So here we go. My mother told me someday I will buy a galley with good oars, sail to distant shores, stand up on the prow, noble bark I steer, steady course to the haven, hew many foemen, Thank you, you guys. That makes me so happy.
All right.
Okay, so we have to get back to the story.
Bellflower Network is there. In the, remind me, what town do we just roll into?
We are in Breckenbauer.
Breckenbauer.
You should still have your map.
Yes.
And for all of you guys following along at home, our audience, our map is up. It's kind of small, I'm sorry, but our map is up in the center of where we currently are. So we are at Breckenbauer.
And okay, so we're up in Breckenbauer. So we got a little bit farther.
Yeah, we've got 3 or 4 days until you get to Kintargo. So
he will send a quick message to Magdalene. Is there anyone that we should make contact with while we are here?
Don't worry about that. I will handle it. And you hear the response back. it's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
So he'll just continue, talking and schmoozing with Sir Michael and Sophie as we ride to the, what'd you call it? The dancing
unicorn. And once you get inside, it's very similar to the situation that was at Three Crowns. Michael comes in. He immediately is the bubbling life of the tavern as soon as he gets in. And
as we got into town, I did use my hat of disguise. To then again darken the features,
not
and things
look like
that.
an Asmere anymore.
I helped Sophie to put on some makeup and kind of shadow again her features.
Okay, I'm gonna give her a roll really quick to see if she's learned any better how to hide her halo.
Right.
Nope, she has not learned any better.
Right.
Poor girl. So her features are a little bit more darkened, but her halo is still very apparent, very there when you guys go in. But Sir Michael, big, boisterous, welcome, hello. And the tavern owner does come in, and he is a hulking figure, half orc with the tusks coming out of the bottom jaw. And he gives Sir Michael a kiss on both cheeks in a traditional Revenel hello. And they have a great discussion really quick, and then you all are all sent off into your rooms if you would like for the night.
Yeah, I think for this night we're just going to. I am going to. What's the room situation we're getting set up with?
The halflings would prefer to stay together. If you would like to join them tonight, you can. And Ana can have the additional room, or this is a larger tavern inn, and there are more rooms available. So if you and Ana would like to have separate rooms, and the halflings are still going to want to hang out together.
Well, as we're doing this, he will ask Sir Michael. I have never stayed in this town before. What would you recommend for the sleeping arrangements for the rest of the party? What do you think would be the best situation?
You're asking Sir Michael this?
Yes, I'm asking Michael. I'm kind of letting him, since he's the one booking the hotel in a way, kind of decide the rooms.
Okay. I see what you're doing.
Like how many rooms we're getting.
Mm-hmm. Well, and he'll turn back to you and to Ana and Magdalene and ask, like, where would you prefer the 2 rooms like we did before, or would you like 3 or possibly 4? And he looks back to and the tavern owner's name is Jed Licky.
Jed Licky.
And I know, right? And he asks Jed, how many rooms do you have for the night, Jed? If you have 4, I believe that would probably be the best. And he turns and looks at all of you, and Anna's like, yes, a room alone would be absolutely fantastic. And he's like, okay. And Jed goes and pulls out a little clipboard and kind of flips through a couple of pages and says, yep, we definitely have 4 available right now. So if you guys want, you can have all 4. Or is this a 4 on top of what you already booked? And Sir Michael responds, oh, absolutely on top of. So in total, it would be 6. And he's like, okay. Yep, that's totally fine. And the orc turns back around and grabs the keys and begins to he hands them all to Sir Michael, and Sir Michael turns around and hands one to you, and hands one to Ana, and hands one to former Magdalene, and the other one to Tip, who has taken lead with the halflings. with the 3 halflings. So Sir Michael just says, I am actually quite tired. We all woke up quite early this morning, so we are, I believe, Sophie, and he looks to her and says, we are going to have our dinner up in our rooms, and then we will go to bed. We will see you in the morning. Oui. Right, and then he walks away a little bit, and then turns around and says, Guten Tag.
Guten Tag.
And then they continue going up the stairs. So him and Sophie and Ulfric are all moving up the stairs. Anna has her key and she says, I don't know about you, but I need a bath.
Would after...
Oh, dear Lord, you're going to ask me a question, aren't you?
I was wondering if after I could buy you a drink.
Really?
I know that I am... what is the phrase? In deep water?
Look, I get it. You want to assuage your guilt. Right?
I want to... We are going to be working together. I don't want to have continued bad feelings. Anna, I am not used to working with others.
Yeah, that's pretty obvious at this point.
I have been a clandestine operative for most of my life. I am not good at this. I am trying to make amends.
I understand. All right, fine. Look, I'm going to go take a bath, and then I will come back down. If you want to be... If you're here, I will come sit with you. If you're not here, I'll wait just a couple of minutes. But, yeah, right. It's fine. And she just turns around and kind of walks upstairs and goes to her room to take a bath.
Yes. Az will also go and clean himself up and get everything. And I do imagine at this point, I'm probably getting a little low on some of my healing supplies. So I am going to ask the inn owner if there's where in town I might be able to get additional bandages, and if there's an herbalist.
Yes. Actually, there is. The Jed says, well, you can check what the magical herbs and fungi is across the street. I don't know if it's like across the street and then kitty corner. So wonderful. I don't know if they're actually still open. So
I will check quickly. Is it close?
Yeah, just like right across the street and just kitty corner. And it's a big sign. There's like a like toadstool. It's like a whole thing. So it's just right over there.
So he's gonna just kind of go out real quick, see if they're open. He's trying to just kind of grab this stuff quickly. He doesn't want to delay tomorrow at all. He wants to be moving quick. See if it perchance opens. Still, he can catch him right before they close.
Okay, yeah. So once you get there, you do see there is an older woman in the store, but she is starting to like do close up shop kind of stuff, and she's turning some lights off, like blowing out candles and whatnot. So if you want to try and catch her, you need to move quickly.
Yes, I move quickly over there. Fräulein, is there a chance I could make some purchase before you close up shop?
Oh, yeah. And she turns around, and she's an older woman, probably in her late 60s, possibly early 70s. Okay. She wears a very large knit shawl, and she has a bright purple dress on with a apron that is covered in what looks most likely like herbal dust. Okay. And she has long, for her age, however, she has very long dark brown hair that is kind of braided and brought up to a crown braid on the top of her head. Okay. But there is some white just along the sides going through her hair. And she says, yes, young man, yeah, we have some things still. You caught me right before I finished closing up for the night.
I'm sorry to delay, but we are leaving in the morning.
It's totally fine. We have things happen all the time here. It's okay. And she turns around and she kind of toddles back into the store to the counter, and she stands there and she's, okay, What do you need? And she turns around and she points at this mass array of shelves that it's very well organized. Everything is labeled and in its place. There are hanging, drying herbs on one side. There are a few fresh potted plants as well that have growing herbs in them, like wheatgrass, and there's some growing lavender here, some lemongrass as well. So it's very pungent, and you most likely will be able to find what you're looking for.
So yeah, I kind of detail out a couple of the different herbs and things that I'd need for either spell components or for for just kind of healing and salves and things like that. And then also inquire for just she has basic bandage cloths and things like that. Just some main things to.
Okay. She's definitely gonna have most of what you're looking for. Bandages, on the other hand, she's not really gonna have any of those types of things right now. But the herbs and whatnot, let's say, how many pounds do you think you're wanting of all this stuff, like in total?
Maybe one.
Maybe one. Okay. Let's say then it's like 1 silver for all of this. And she hands you the bag and she says, I'm sorry I don't have the bandages right now, but they're probably coming on the next shipment.
That is no problem. Thank you for your assistance. Guten Tag.
Good night. And as you walk out, she follows behind you, and then she just slowly shuts the door, and you hear the of the locks clicking and shutting as well. And you head back to the dancing unicorn.
All right.
Okay.
So
by the time you get back, it's been probably.
I imagine not too long.
No, but it takes about a half an hour for Ana to get out of her stuff and then to take a bath. So by the time she comes down the stairs, it's been about an hour.
So Az is probably going to get the stuff. I imagine that took like 20 minutes or so.
20 or 30 minutes, yeah.
He'll head upstairs, do a real quick scrub down. Like medical scrub. Like he's got something. He's just like, he's used to scrubbing up quick.
Yeah.
He'll do a quick scrub down, and then he will come downstairs, ask the owner for a table. And then...
and Jed just kind of looks out at the area, and there's like 6 tables that are open right now, and he's like, pick one.
And what is the drink on tap?
We have some ale, and like a rosé, but
cider?
Hard cider? Like, do you want something in it, or?
Yeah.
Okay, we can do that. Do you want 2?
To warm up, yes.
2? Okay, all right. I can do that. So he turns around, he starts making the drinks, and then he turns around and said, "Did you want any food?"
Yes, that would be amenable.
Okay.
The special, whatever it is.
Okay, it's lamb, so we'll do some lamb for you. And then he turns on, he bustles about getting all of that done, and by the time the food comes and is done, as like at your table with the food, with the drinks, Ana is coming down the stairs. She's freshly washed, her hair is braided back, which makes the 2 very small horns at the top of her head very prominent, and she's wearing much looser clothes than you have seen her in up to this point. She's normally been just in fighting attire, or what she was wearing underneath her plate armor. So this is definitely a different outfit that she has changed into. She looks around once she gets to the bottom of the stairs, sees you, and then heads to you. Right. And as she's sitting down, she's like, "Oh, you ordered food."
And he just kind of slides it over, to the chair she's approached at.
It's like, "Well, thank you," and she sits down. So
we I do not know yet if we are going to, if the plan is to stay with Michael or not.
Well, I thought that was decided.
we are with him at the moment, but if we are, he has offered for us to stay with him in his house.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense, actually.
To put it in a way similar to being a patron.
Like be our patron?
He will present us to the nobility so we can make the contacts. We would stay with him. It is could be very good, but we also, as you mentioned, he does not know the full
everything.
Story. Yeah.
I mean,
I trust
I
Magdalene to know best what we should do in this instance.
What did she say? I saw you talking to her.
She has not given me an answer yet. She's still thinking about the possibilities.
Okay.
Ana, I am used to using and then leaving assets.
So you're a user?
I am...
Have you ever had a real relationship in your life? I'm not talking about romantic. I mean, like, outside of your little small chamber of halfling friends that you grew up with?
No.
This
is new to me. I do not know how to... Everything in my life has been an objective, has been a mission. It's from the age of, I think I was 12, when I first made contact with an agent of the network.
Yes.
And since then it has been mission, objective, asset.
And there was no time for you to actually just be in any of that?
There were moments with the halflings, but that was also in a way part of the network.
That's true. I mean, you had a very strange life. I mean, my life was not easy growing up and being a member of the monastery and then becoming a member of the Hell Knight Order. I mean, it was odd, but I mean, I had friends, I had people. I mean, I had Stella.
Almost every moment of my life, Ana, has been in a way a lie.
That's horrible.
It's what I know.
So I'm the first person that you've ever known that has actually known the truth?
Outside of the network?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a little heady.
It was a necessity. We needed each other.
That's true. Because I was going to get dead. I mean, that's just the truth of the situation. I was very quickly walking myself into a grave. So I was going to have to leave in some way.
Yeah, you are not a good fit.
Subtlety is not my strong suit, and I could not be subtle around them.
No, well, then it is not the Hell Knight way in any way to be subtle, but you are subtle, honest. You are not subtle, honest. They are not subtle, brutal.
Right, I'm going to pretend I understood that.
But, again, it is going to take me some getting used to consulting and including another person in my plans and actions.
Yes.
And so I, again, apologize that I did not talk to you first.
Well, we had the entire ride here for me to think about that, and while I am very thankful that you are taking point on this, whatever it is, with Sir Michael. I need you to consult with me before sharing things about me.
Yeah.
Right? I understand. Tactically. You've had to think tactically your entire life. I get it. I really do. I was raised by warriors, essentially, who all they think about was tactics. But this is my life. So if it ever comes up, please do not talk about Sia.
No, I would never divulge family. I have so few.
Yes, right. Well, and she finishes up her drink and kind of leans back and says, we have a very long day tomorrow.
One last thing.
Yes.
Tomorrow, if we stay with Michael and if we allow ourselves to be inserted into connections with the court, which again could have
I think it honestly
real opportunities there.
I think it's probably the best plan. But we have to be very careful.
We do. And I do not think you have ever experienced court.
Well, no.
So tomorrow, and until we get to Kintargo, it would be best if you ride in the carriage and allowed Sophie to help you with what to expect and how to interact in Ravenel.
Are you sure they're going to want me in the carriage knowing who I was?
I think that is the best thing, because the more time they spend around you, the less they see the whole night. The more they see Ana, the champion.
She reaches up and touches her necklace really quick.
They have seen you and your abilities.
Yes, and
I did not say who you serve.
good, because I would have slit your throat if you had. And sent you straight to her.
They know you serve someone. They do not know who.
All right. Okay, I will. I'll go. I'll ride in the cart tomorrow. And we'll see where it goes from there.
Sophie likes you.
No, I think she likes Bruce more than she likes me, but...
Bruce does not ride in the cart, in the carriage.
No, he just runs
say
alongside.
That,
oh my god! And she just turns around and walks up the stairs. She turns around. You guys kind of are like the last patrons in the dining hall, and she turns around and just says good night, As, and she heads up the stairs.
As will head up the stairs,
Mm-hmm.
And head into his room alone.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll sit on the bed and he'll look around. And just take deep breaths. This is the first time he's been alone since leaving Enferak. And in this moment, in the quiet, the gravity of freedom is gonna hit him, and he's just gonna sit there and think and meditate and breathe for a while until he falls asleep.
Okay. All right. Well, the next morning comes and you
Wake up early.
wake up. You do your spell work. You get everything prepared for the day. So why don't you actually do that and decide what you want for the day? Ana is going to get up and she is going to do a few just exercises, get loosened up. She's used to working out every day. And she does get all of her plate armor on and comes down the stairs to join the rest of the party. And whenever you are ready,
All right.
with your spells, let me know.
Yeah,
So guys,
there's not much to that I'm gonna change up. So most of it I'm keeping the same. So
okay.
I think that I'm already
basically
ready at this
there.
point. Yeah.
Okay. So, are you gonna come downstairs?
Yeah.
You're staying there the whole time.
I'll use my my hat of disguise to again change. You know,
your appearance.
My appearance, darken the hair on my face and beard, darken my skin a little bit. It's still Aas, but just non-Aasimir Aas.
Yeah, exactly. So, okay, so you go down, you meet everybody for breakfast. It's a very nice display of breakfast meats and fruits and nuts and a few vegetables that could be scrounged up from the night before. And Sir Michael sees you, gives you a very big greeting, and it's all very jovial. Ana is sitting, maybe 2 chairs down from them, and she seems a little bit more, I guess, self-conscious than she had previously with them.
Aas is going to quickly send message, just say, "Hear me." And then we'll whisper again through message to Ana. I am going to ask Michael and Sophie to help today in teaching you about the court in Ravenel.
All right.
And then he's gonna not let me. He's like, okay, I checked in with her first. Oh, yeah. And then he's going to walk over. I imagine they're sitting next to each other, Sophie and Sir Michael.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning. Morning. What accent was that?
Irish plus not there.
Good morning.
Today I was wondering if I could get both of your assistants with something today.
Sophie immediately. Absolument. Oui.
We mentioned that Ana is not accustomed to the court and to the nobility.
No.
I was wondering if today you both might help me in beginning to acquaint her. Sophie, you most of all, since you have the most experience as a woman.
And she gets up and she goes right around you and she sits down right next to Ana and she's like, we are going to teach you absolutely everything about court. You are going to shine like a little diamond. It's going to be absolutely perfect. And she kind of starts speaking a mile a minute, and Sir Michael nods and says, oui, she needs to learn if she is going to survive.
Yeah.
Especially in the court. Her being a Hell Knight is not going to go over very well.
We would prefer that not be the common knowledge.
You do not know much about court, then, do you, boy?
And Ana is an honest person.
I can tell.
So,
At the very least, I will promise you this. When I present you to the Domina, I will make sure that it is in a private setting and not in open court.
Yeah.
I do not want you or Ana to be under that type of scrutiny. She is already going to have eyes on her because she is a tiefling. While being not as uncommon here, it is still not as common as you would think.
Well, if you think that it could be an issue, there are things that I can do, as I do for myself.
You mean to disguise her?
Yeah.
Oh, you do not. You see how honest she is? Do you really think that she would be okay with that?
I could just get rid of the horns.
I have a feeling she would kill you.
I can ask.
You can ask. You can ask. It is absolutely fine for you to ask. I just have a feeling she is not going to be okay with it.
Yeah.
It's true.
The positives and negatives of an honest person. Especially in the court, as you say.
In the court. It's one of the reasons why I never had a taste for court. it is difficult to navigate, and not being a man with many ambitions outside of what was left for me by my family, I take it or leave it.
Yeah.
It does not matter. But we best be off if we are going to be getting there quickly. I would like to get to Kintargo very soon. We have been on the road for many days at this point.
As I did yesterday, I would like to use my abilities to help the travel.
B. And he looks at Ulfric and conveys that you're going to go do all of that. And then kind of breakfast is wrapped up.
Yep.
And you guys get
ready
out to the cart. And you go. You do give me a perception check.
All right. Ooh, that's a 19. So that's a 31.
Yes. I was hoping you'd roll high.
All right, roll high.
As you begin to roll out of town, roll.
Rolling.
Roll. You see me rolling. As you begin rolling out of town, you do see on the sidewalk under an eave a man that is half cloaked in shadow, and you get the very distinct impression he is looking right at you.
So I see he's hidden.
You see a man. He's half covered in shadow. He's leaned up against against and under an eave of a building and is just watching, and you get the very distinct impression he is looking right at you.
Do I recognize anything about garb?
You
anything?
can't see. It's a very dark cloak and it's shaded.
I just know he's there.
You just know he's there and he's looking at you. And you are now on the road.
Dang, I can't do anything about it.
Nope, you can't. You guys are moving quickly out of town, and you have done your spell.
Yes, I have.
So they are moving pretty dang quick. I would like you to roll me a d8, please.
All right.
Hi, Carney, Sideshow. Hi, Sylvie.
That is a 3.
A 3. Okay. Okay. So as you guys go through on the roads are getting better and better as you're moving closer and closer into Kintargo. You can tell there's a lot more money being spent on upkeep with the area. The ride itself is very, very smooth. You guys go really quickly through the valley. You stop at lunch. You are able to have lunch. There's a few other traveling merchants now that are also you're being able to see. And Michael does know a few of them as they go by, and he waves. And the social butterfly that he is, it's beginning to kind of, you're getting a very good picture of why he has such good standing with the court as he does.
So I do have a question.
Okay.
How is the instruction going with Ana? I want to know.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna roll society for Ana really quick. Oh, and she has none.
No, she has no.
Oh my gosh, and that was a natural one. Okay.
Well, wouldn't this be instead like a straight intelligence? Like, can she learn?
No,
because she doesn't know society.
No, but this is her ability to pick up on the nuances of why the hands on top of each other matter from here to here to here. Like, she has to understand these things, especially as a woman, and she is struggling.
Don't you start with chat, you can use 500 of your channel points to buy hero points.
Oh, we didn't talk about that at the beginning of the show.
We did. I talked about it.
Did you talk about it? Okay.
So if any of you look down at the bottom of the chat, if you happen to have more than 500 channel points, please
feel free to give us a hero point. It is a function. It is a function within Pathfinder. We are not just making it up. You do actually have the ability to have hero points, which is a reroll of any D20. We can have up to 3 per session, so at any given time. So if we have 3 and we use some, and you guys are so generous and give us another one, then we can do that. Anyway, so she is as of this moment without a hero point. She is not being able to really pick it up. She is really struggling, and she's so frustrated with the whole situation.
Okay, so let me, can I roll, I guess the most I could do is roll my society to aid, huh?
Yeah.
To which maybe, let me see if I can aid. Maybe I can give her a crit and increase it to a 3.
Okay.
So I'm going to attempt to aid. So that's a 12 plus my society, which is a 10, which would make it a 22.
So
you set the DC. If it's 10 greater than that, it's that for her ability to learn these things. If not, it's just a +1, which makes it a 2.
An untrained DC for this would be in a 10.
So then it would
be... So it would be 10 above.
So then it takes it up by 2, so it's a 3 now. So she doesn't get a critical failure.
So she doesn't have a critical failure. Oh my gosh. Okay, so she is able to pick up a little bit, but she's like just hitting this mental block on like trying to remember exactly the hand placements and exactly the way she should bow, and she's having a really difficult time with precision and making things as sharp as she needs to make them. Right, so that is this little bit. So yeah, you guys all get back in the carriages and you continue forward until you reach the next town. Where did my map go? I just had it. Where did it go? There it is.
It begins with B.
And the next, actually, no, you guys have to camp for the night.
Oh.
Forgot. So we, in the amount of time that you were able to get in that day, you're right in between Brackenbauer and Maruria.
Oh, with my spell, we weren't able to make it all the way? Dang it.
No, that's like 60 miles. So no, that doesn't work.
Okay.
You guys are moving like with the spell and stuff like 25 to 30 miles a day. So it takes time. So you set up camp. It's wonderful. And for time's sake, we're going to just say that everything's great. You go to sleep, you wake up, you guys do your watches. It's totally fine. It's a beautiful night. And you wake up, you have dinner, breakfast, pack up, head out. On the second day of travel as well, I would like you to roll me another D8.
5.
Nice. Okay, so you already rolled a 5. Okay, so you're going to keep moving along, and Ana is going to take another check to see if she is able to do any better than she did the day before.
Please.
Oh, that's a little bit better. That's a 10.
And I'm going to aid.
You're going to aid again. Okay.
Ooh, that's a 19.
Nice. I was about to say natural 20.
That's a 19 plus my 10, which makes it 29.
So that is an aid. So it adds 3.
It adds 2.
2. Okay. So then that's a 12.
Okay.
So she is able to start picking things up, and she's being able to really get down the hand placements, which is great, but the bow she's still having a really hard time with. Yeah. Mostly because she doesn't have a skirt for which to bow.
Yeah, that would make it awful.
And so she's not being able to totally get how she's supposed to move when she doesn't have the excess fabric to move with.
I'm going to, when we get a moment, I'm going to go up and talk to Ulfric.
Okay.
And I'm going to ask him, Ulfric, you have served, from what Michael tells me, you served the nobility in Ravenel.
Yeah.
The Domina.
Yeah.
I am sure that you have met other female warriors and knights.
Yeah.
What do they bow? They do not curtsy in my thoughts.
If they are on duty, they would do the traditional warrior bow, and he does the hand here, hand out. And then, but if they're off duty, they would do just their normal, like a normal curtsy bow.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. I mean, it depends on the rank and station within the order as well. And then
like they're stationed within the court system as well? I mean, if they're like on the low end, and then he goes into like this really complicated explanation of all the different things. So after about 15 minutes of him going on and on and on about this, he said, so essentially it's totally fine if Ana just curtsies.
I'll be honest, I was hoping she didn't have to.
Oh. Well, yeah. Unfortunately, if she's being introduced to the queen, or the domina, she's going to have to curtsy.
They curtsy if they're wearing armor?
Well, not if they're wearing armor, but Sir Michael's not going to let you guys be presented to the queen looking like this. And he kind of like looks you up and down, like, not to be rude, but...
Now, I want to remind the GM what Oz was wearing is like high fashion, high quality.
I know, but you also have been on the road for 4 days now.
You bring up a good point there.
So, and in a huge rainstorm.
But I have prestidigitation.
I know you do. Finally. So nice.
Okay.
So yeah.
Unfortunately, she's going to have to curtsy. Sorry.
I have never seen her in anything but armor. That would be
different.
Weird.
It'll be different for you.
To be honest.
I can imagine she looks quite good without armor on. He kind of like
insight. I want to do a sense motive check there.
Okay, go ahead.
7 plus 12, so a 19.
19. Yeah, that's good. She's not hiding anything. He thinks she's freaking hot.
As seeing this, I imagine that I'm doing this when we're like between things and we're doing lunches or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Is going to look at Ana and
what you've
not quite see it, not quite
really. And it's like seeing that look on your face of like confusion. It's like, have you lived under a rock?
My life has been a very interesting story, and someday I will tell you.
All right, well, I'll tell you one thing. When you get to court, hold on to her quite tight. There are some very interesting figures that will want to get to know her.
Yeah. Thank you for the warning.
Yeah. You're welcome. And he kind of lingering gaze on her for just a second and then turns around and goes back up to the carts, and you guys all get back onto the carts and the horses, and you're like ready to go.
And as kind of having this momentary realization, he kept thinking about his own dangers and worries he has to have as an Azimir, and the issues he had at court, and thinking about his own, suddenly realizing he might not be the only one who has issues with unwanted advancements at the court. And that's going to cause him a little bit of stress.
Worry.
Yeah. He's like, crap, I got to worry about someone else?
Well, yeah, it's true.
All right, so you get back on the carts and you guys head out on your next day. I'm going to do another check for Ana to see if in the afternoon, after a kind of resting period, if she can get it a little bit better. That's a 12.
Oh, which is good because, I succeeded because I rolled a 7 plus the 10, which is 17. Mm-hmm. So she gets a +1, so 13.
Okay, so she is a 13. So she's very, very slowly, she's inching forward. So maybe if we have a couple of more days of her practicing, especially with the skirts and whatnot, she'll be able to get it.
I'm sure we won't get introduced to the domino on day 1.
No, definitely not. All right, so we get now into Mariura. I can't say the name of that town. Maruria. Whatever. That one right there.
That one.
This town is a hubbub metropolis. You can see the town, like the city, as you are coming up over the crest of a hill, and it is a sprawling city all through this little valley area, and it is surrounded by hills, and there are farmsteads farther out that you start passing, as you're getting closer and closer, and then the homes all start getting closer and closer together, and then they stop being homes that are like offset from the road, and they start being like there's like roads that are offshooting, and there are more established buildings and stuff like that. And then once you finally get into the full city center, you do pass a set of guards who Sir Michael just waves at, and one of them just kind of like waves back in acknowledgement, as saying like, hi.
Yeah, between him and Ulfric, I'm sure that they're all like, oh yeah, we know these people.
they know Sir Michael pretty well. Like seems like everybody knows Sir Michael.
So I'd like to do a perception check.
Yes.
For me. Just kind of, what am I? Ooh, I'm getting lower and lower each time. That's a 16 overall. Those hero points would be useful. Come on, people.
You're begging our viewers.
I am begging our viewers.
You're begging our viewers for hero points. Okay, seriously though, you guys, he's not going to stop begging. So somebody please give him a hero point. You same thing, the underworld lore.
This one I'm not doing underworld lore. I'm kind of just wanting to is he grasping kind of the see? I mean, he's been in metropolises before. Is this like familiar area for him? This
feels like a normal larger side, like on the larger side city, where there in this city there probably would be a underground, but with that role you don't see anything.
Yeah.
But it is familiar territory. You like this is not unusual to you. Anna, on the other hand, is not super used to very large cities.
Oh! I got a hero point.
Oh, Synth Knight, you are so nice. Okay, you have a hero point.
Yes,
do you want to re-roll that D20?
I do. Come on, baby.
Don't waste it.
Natural one. Sorry, Synth Knight. I have failed.
Forget everything that I just said. You know nothing. This is the one bad thing about hero points is that you can actually get worse.
So
it's
I
not
imagine
advantage.
It's too crowded for me to see, or something like that.
Yes, it is a bustling hubbub of a city, and you are not really able to make out any real details, other than just nice big buildings that are attractive and a lot of people.
Damn it.
But you do make your way through the town. You go down to what seems to be like a main thoroughfare, and Weston just opened a Diet Coke, trying to be like I don't know, sneaky about it.
I need it after that.
You rolled a like nothing for stealth just then.
We're glad you can lurk too, Synth Knight. Okay. All right, so we just ride on through, I'm guessing.
So we ride on, well, by the time you guys get to this city, it is, like, dark. It has gotten completely dark. So you're going to go straight to the tavern, the inn, same setup as the last few towns. Sir Michael has all of these things set up and established. He walks into the door, and Grecia, who is the tavern owner, sees him. They have a discussion in French for a few minutes, and then Michael turns around and...
As they're talking, I will cast Comprehend Languages.
Oh, okay.
To understand, for the next hour, I can understand any language that I hear. So,
okay.
As I hear them talking, anything that sticks out...
Gracia, she does ask, kind of like she's like asking questions about you and about Ana. It's very unusual to see a tiefling, and because you have on your hat of disguise, she doesn't say anything about you all that much, other than like, who are these companions? Who are these people? And Michael goes into a very short rendition about how you saved his life, and he is taking you to Kintargo to introduce you to people and city life and that whole thing. So there's nothing really
exciting
All right, cool.
that they're talking about.
Just wanted to
he does the same setup as he did before of 6 rooms, which this tavern 100% has, and you guys all get your keys and you head up. Tonight, however, before Ana goes into her room, she is going to ask for your assistance in taking the plate armor off, because she does not want to do it for half an hour.
So yeah, he definitely helps her, well acquainted with how to remove the armor, so that way it goes pretty quick.
Okay, she removes it all, and
he does, as they're doing this, he does mention to her kind of what Michael had said about, and what Ulfric had kind of said about the situations, what she might expect at court, as far as, there's different, levels and things. Like trying to convey some of what was told there. One thing he does say is, it might be worthwhile if you want to get you a hat.
And she reaches up and touches her horns. I'm not a hat person, Aas. I don't know if you've noticed that.
It could help you not be prejudged.
Oh, I appreciate the concern, but I have been judged my entire life. This is not anything new for me.
Well,
Whether it be the snobby people in Cheliax or the snobby people here, it'll be the same. It's fine.
as you wish.
And she grabs your arm as you are turning to leave, and she just kind of looks you in the eye and says, "Thank you for caring about it."
We are going to be relying on each other for a while. And so it is something we need to do.
Well, thank you. And you leave, and she shuts the door, and you all go to bed.
Yes.
And then you wake up in the morning.
Wake up!
At this point, you are about, just barely a full day's ride out from Kintargo. And Sir Michael is very anxious to get home. And so he is instructing Ulfric to move very quickly down the pathways and on the roads. And there's a lot of traffic, a lot of foot traffic, a lot of people going to and from through the entire day as you guys are traveling forward. So Kintargo is set on it is a port city, and it is set on a peninsula into the city itself. So I want to give you a map that you can see.
Oh, this is of Carthago.
This is of Kintargo.
Ooh.
So the city lies on either side of the shore.
Quick, just kind of.
Oh, are you gonna move it forward
Flash
so we
with the
can
camera.
see? Okay. There's this. That's what Kintargo looks like, you guys. Yay!
So this is the capital of Revenel.
So this is the capital city of Revenel. So the city is split into two. The far side is the south side is a lot of not nobility, but it has the military side is over there. You can see on C1 that's actually the castle Kintargo. That is one of the main residences for the Domina, but that is also where they have court, where any of the embassies for the different countries are at, and they are currently rebuilding all of the embassies that had been a part of the revolution. So the Nidalese embassy is still vacant. They have not had a diplomat from Nidal yet come into Revenel, which is not all that sad for them. They have had a lot of they have large citadels, and they have the high wall market over there in that area. And then if you go up into the G's, that's the nobleman's district. That is the green district. And that is where all of the noblemen live. And they actually do have a private road that goes in and out of that district called the Silver Road. And then there is one entrance into it. The Domina also has a residence there. So she has two residential places, and most of the time she is in her residence in the green district.
This is official palace. This is
official palace business, and then she, however, spends probably 2/3 of her time in the green district. So I can give you a lot of the points of interest on that later, but those are the two areas that are going to be the most important.
Sir Michael lives in the green district.
In the green district.
Woo!
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But he's not nobility.
No.
Interesting.
Yeah. And it's like nobility and the really, really wealthy and influential people within the country and within the city. They all have these beautiful estates, these sprawling estates in the green district. But there are smaller estate-esque type homes as well that are for the wealthy merchants and for some of the people that are going to be influential. So that is why Michael lives there, because he is considered an influential individual within the city. So as you approach, you are beginning to see residences from without the city wall, but the backdrop of the city wall is absolutely staggering. It goes through the entire peninsula from one side to the other, and it is probably 30-40 feet tall. It is there are guards all along the top, and they are walking, you can tell, as like doing rounds. This place is very well protected, and there's only one gate to get in or out of this side of the city. As you approach, there is a very long line of merchants. It's starting to get darker out. You can tell people are a little more anxious to get into the city, and there is a sense of impatience. A lot of the carts in front of you are holding things like food and flowers and all of the accoutrement for a very large party. So things are starting to come in for the ball, and everyone is very anxious to get everything in. You hear a guard up near the front of the line shout out, "Have your papers ready! If you don't have your papers, you will not get in the city tonight. You must have your papers." And he just keeps repeating that over and over and over again. And there's some grumbling up in the front at one point, and you hear some shouting, and then somebody is turning around, and they've got a big cart, and they're walking away. And as they pass you, there's just a stupid ball and their stupid papers and not being able to get in. And he's just grumbling about what's going on. But there is definitely heightened security for what's going on here. Very slowly, you guys get up to the front of the line, and Sir Michael leans out of his window, and as you approach, and the guard says, "Do you need your Sir Michael, it's so good to have you home. How are you?" And Sir Michael says, "Oh, Robbie, it is also so good to see you. How is your wife? I know she was still a neighbor, yes? When I left," and Robbie says, "Yeah, she finally gave birth, a healthy young boy." "Oh, is it? Congratulations. It is absolutely magnifique." And
so everyone likes this guy, and he knows and remembers personal details about everybody.
About everybody.
I want to pump him for information.
So you guys get through the gate with absolutely no problem, and he sits back in the cart, and you are in the cart with him, correct?
Yes, okay. I'm in the cart with him.
And he leans back and he says, "Oh, yeah, to be home. It is so nice to be back in my city."
And Sophie just kind of smiles and is looking out the carriage, and Sir Michael does bang up on the top to signal to Ulfric and says, you may want to take the wagon and take it back to the storehouse and have it delivered directly to the Domina's establishment, her home, and we can manage at this point. And Ulfric yells back and says, absolutely, I can do that. And he pulls the cart over, and to your utter shock and surprise, Sir Michael gets out, gets on top, and he drives the carriage to his house.
Whoa.
The wagon is set off on a very different path through the city, and you can see there is only one way to get into the area that goes to the green.
What's happening with the halflings and
they are apparently coming along.
Okay, I just wanted to say
they are coming along.
Siegfried.
On top of Siegfried. They are coming along. They are going to it's the carriage and Siegfried and Bruce, and then the halflings on top of Siegfried. So you guys do make kind of a spectacle.
Yeah, we would.
You're coming down. It's like a parade. But it is darker now, so like there's a lot of, as you're going through the residential areas and stuff like that, it's a lot darker and quiet. But you do eventually get into the one entrance into the Green District. And the Green District is drastically different than the rest of the city. The rest of the city is basic shale rock homes. You think Italy, Renaissance Italy kind of look. It's cobblestone streets and beautiful, beautiful craftsmanship, but it's all very standard. Everything looks the same. And you do go past all of the fisheries, and the stench that was overwhelming from the port is
yes.
a little intense. And you do approach the gate to get into the Green District. And the Green District is completely surrounded by a very, very tall wall, very similar to the wall that surrounded the other side of the city. It also has guards waiting for it.
So did we come in here on the night road?
No, you came on Ravenel, which is on the opposite side.
Oh, we came from here?
At 14. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, so you came down there and you traversed through the entire city. So by the time you get to the Green District, it is like full dark. It is like quiet at night, and it's very loud, the sound of the horse and the carriage going through. You didn't really pass through any of the night districts, so it's a pretty quiet city at night, unless you're in the actual like clubbing districts, like where the opera house is and the really famous coffee shop and stuff like that.
Can I roll my underworld lore to look for signs of the network or other types of things?
Please do.
All right. Tempted not to roll this
I
dice.
kind of like that one's not done well for you tonight.
It did great, and then it just slowly every dice. But I hit a ones, so I can't go below there.
You can't go below a 1.
So
be loyal to your dice, babe.
Yeah. 7, so a 19.
19. Okay. You do see some elements of
no, wait, not 19, because I used my underworld lore, so that rather than perception.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be 17.
17. Oh, okay. Okay, so you do see some evidence of an underworld type existing. You see kind of some darkened corners with some very quick turns of individuals, but you don't see anything real in particular.
That'd be great for right then.
I know, that would have been so nice if you got a 31 again. But yeah, you don't see anything that's real distinct. You can see the telltale signs of
It's a big city.
Underworld
there's
dealings,
stuff.
but you don't see anything in particular. And you don't really see anything that signifies the Bellflower Network either.
Okay.
Once you guys do get to the gate, Sir Michael gets there. Same type of scenario. He is at the top of the carriage now, and as he arrives, the guards kind of stop him and say, Sir Michael, it is good to see you. Welcome home. And Sir Michael responds in kind, like, oui, it has been a very long journey. Can we please do away with the formalities tonight? Can I just go into my home and go to my bed? And the guard says, you know we can't do that. And Sir Michael's like, I know, it would just be so wonderful if just once I could go back to my own home without having to be searched. The guard says, I know, but with everything that's been going on lately, we can't just let you go through, sorry. So we need everybody to get out of the cart. So seeing this, Magdalene is very not okay with any of this that's going on. So you guys all get out of the cart, and Sophie is standing next to her father, and she's whining and complaining like a 15-year-old who has been on a ridiculous journey and is exhausted. But I want you to give me a perception check.
Yeah. 30.
Nice.
18 plus my 12.
Oh my gosh! There you're back, baby.
I'm
back. As they are searching, and Siegfried, the horse and whatnot, had been back a little bit farther. As the guards begin to search the cart and go around it, Magdalene looks at you, nods, and then kicks the side of Siegfried.
Damn. All right.
Is there anything you would like to do before
Yes.
she is totally out of sight?
I am going to, actually, at that point, what I'm going to do is I am going to try and use my diplomacy to create a bit of a distraction.
Okay.
And have the guards paying attention to something else, the opposite direction.
Okay.
Oh, not bad. So it's a 14 plus my deception, which is an 11. So that's a 25.
Okay. Yep. What do you want to do to create a distraction?
So I come up to.
It's gonna have to be a pretty big distraction because Siegfried's a really big horse.
He is a really big horse. Well, all I'm going to do is I'm trying to just get them to look the other direction. At the time. So actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out my healing stuff, and it's got all the herbs in it.
Okay.
And he's going to says, I do not want to be sort of a contraband. Are these okay? I don't know. Are these allowed? And I'm going to start pulling out different herbs.
Like, sir, I need you to back up just a little bit, please. We don't.
It's only
No,
mint.
Yep, I understand. Yeah, and by the time you finish your little ordeal, Magdalene is gone with the halflings, and you don't know if you're going to see them again.
I'm sure she might contact.
So we'll see. We'll see on that one, because who knows what will happen. Anyway, so they are what? What?
Insinuating too many things there.
I'm not insinuating anything. You think I'm insinuating. I have high deception. No,
you don't. All right, so
you enter into the garden district after a very, very thorough search of the cart.
Michael doesn't say anything about the fact that they are gone.
He hasn't really noticed yet.
Okay, cool.
Because he was at the front and he was talking to the guards, and then you were doing your ridiculous thing, and he doesn't notice that they're gone yet.
Cool.
So, it's when he gets back up onto the cart and turns around, that's kind of when he realizes that they're not there anymore. And he does look to you, and he's like, where did our little friends go?
They have family and contacts here. They were going to go and stay with their family.
Give me a deception check.
No problem. 14 plus 11, so that's 25.
Geez. Okay, he believes you. It's like, okay, I did not know that they had family in Kintargo. If we had known that, we would have sent word and we could have all had a family reunion back at the home. That would have been wonderful.
It is not, we did not want to impose at all, so.
You are so very polite. And then he kind of turns around and he's like, ha-cha!
God, I love that high deception.
I know, my gosh, you can get away with bloody murder in this. So as you guys enter into the Garden District, and it is lavish. This place is stunning. There is green absolutely everywhere. The homes, the craftsmanship on these homes that you are seeing is 10, 15 times what was out in the city. It's beautiful stonework with huge crests emblazoned on the homes, and they have these very large like entrance walkways, and the level of opulence here is at a 10 for everything.
Sense motive. I just want to see how Anna's reacting to all this.
Okay.
That's only at 9, but that's still plus 12, so that's a 21.
21. Okay. She is like boggled. Her eyes are massive, and she's looking around, slightly shocked. Having never really seen this type of opulence before, spending her entire life in the military, her known she is shocked that this even exists.
As we'll send a little message.
Uh-huh.
Ana, it is rude to gawk.
I'm not cooking.
And then he's gonna look at her and just kind of, because she kind of had her mouth open, like hanging open, like.
Oh, Have you ever seen homes like this before? These aren't even homes. The house, and as you're walking, the cart is walking by a very large estate with quite a kingly statue in the front. She's like, do you see that one? That could fit like the entire of Citadel Interac in it.
These are modest.
Modest? Are you insane?
You should see the houses owned by House Throne.
I have no desire. If this is what this is just, it's too much. It's all too much. And as you go around the corner, you do see a few more guards out walking the streets. There are guards up on the catwalk kind of thing. Yeah. Surrounding, and you see that there is a very high concentration at the far end of the Green District, which is Sir Michael leans over and says, we will be going there tomorrow. As long as the Domina is available, she is going to be available for me because we have to do her final dress fittings for the ball. But if she is available for an introduction, that is where we would be going. And at the far end, you see a 3-tiered home with windows all the way across the entire thing.
Damn.
And there's stone in between each, so it's not a wall of windows, but it's not like Garrett's house. But it is there. It's just windows all the way down. There are 2 huge staircases going up and then coming across, meeting in the center where there's obviously a very large patio type space there as well. The gardens are manicured to within an inch of their lives. The shrubs are perfectly round. The all of the plants that are lining the side, there's like not a single one of them would dare ever even think about being unattractive. This is very obviously the queen's or the domina's docile.
There we go.
But as you come around the corner from seeing that, and Sir Michael is kind of nodding at and waving at all of the guards, you do see a small bevy of homes that are still extremely attractive and beautiful,
but not the
but
gaudy.
they are not gaudy. They are like in America, like upper middle class type homes, and there's a cluster of them on the far side, and that's where Michael moves the cart towards and ends up in front of a fairly modest home, 2 stories with a small like driveway type thing on the side that he stops the cart on, and is greeted by a few servants who get down or help him down from the cart and help Sophie out of the house or out of the cart as well. And you and Ana are now at Michael St. Clair's home.
And as they're about to come out, he'll turn to Sophie. I know this is home, but I want you to try one more time. Bring it down.
But I don't... Okay. And she closes her eyes for a minute, shakes a very deep breath.
And Az is going to, at that moment, cast guidance.
Oh, okay.
To give a +1.
+1. Okay. Okay, it's a 15. So she, yeah. Over the few days that you have been working with her, her abilities have gotten stronger and stronger. And as she takes a deep breath and is able to focus on creating nothing, which is much harder to do than creating something, you do see as the halo slowly dims and then diminishes completely in that moment.
And Az says, now I want you to hold that till you go to sleep.
And as soon as you finish saying that, it pops out. She's like, but you saw, I did it for the very first time, Papa, I made the halo, it went away, did you see? And Sir Michael had been standing there the whole time watching this, and she's like, I saw, I did very good, my dear. I bet if you wait until tomorrow morning when you have a good night's rest, you'll be able to do it perfectly, and you can hold it all day long if you would like. And she's very excited, but she is definitely very tired, and she looks at one of the servants and she says, Anne-Marie, did you see it? I was able to do, and she goes up with the servant, and they head into the house as her personal servant, Anne-Marie.
Az is going to take this moment as he is there to present himself to the servants that are there.
Okay. They are all human.
Okay.
There's not a single halfling.
But he's gonna try. I'm gonna try and make an impression.
Okay.
Which is a diplomacy check.
Yep.
Oh, come on, roll well. Natural 20.
What? Oh my gosh!
Plus my diplomacy of 11 is a 31.
Oh my gosh! You and that 31 tonight. We've gotten it a couple of times. Okay.
So he knows what it's like for what servants, what they're used to, what they're not used to, and what will make servants feel good, comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And so he goes around and just making all the servants feel comfortable with him being there, introduces himself and all that.
Okay. Well, it definitely appeases the head. The head of the household is very taken with you. The butler who is there as well, Amir, so the butler's name is Amir, and the head of the household, her name is Hayden. And they both are quite taken with you and very impressed and surprised that someone who is spending time with Sir Michael would actually know some of the the things to say and how to behave with the servants and not just act like snobby noblemen. Ana is definitely like she's not really talking very much. She's very like kind of uncomfortable with all of this, and Michael brings you guys in.
He's trying to make an impression kind of for the group of them, so he's going to introduce her as he's going through. He's going to introduce her to each of them.
Okay.
Also, as he was kind of nodding at Ana, he's like, and this is Ana, this is, and then kind of make those introductions as well. Kind of presenting them as a party, I guess, a group that have worked together and are
partners.
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right, that works. But still, as Sir Michael goes into the home and does the normal like taking off gloves. And
he's home.
He's home. He's doing his thing. And thank you
thank
very
you.
much. He is very comfortable, obviously, with his home, and he motions to Hayden and says, so you have been introduced already to Miss Ana. And Ana, do you prefer Anduriana or Ana? Ana sits there for a second and she's like, either is fine. So Miss Ana is fine. He's like, perfect. All right. So this is Miss Ana. We need her to be probably in the green room next to Sophie, and this is Aas. And he will be in. I guess put him in the yellow room. There's the only other room is being occupied. What? No, they left already. And he's kind of going through this like mental check, and he looks at Hayden and says, Hayden, the Belfors left already, yes? And Hayden says, yes.
The who?
The Belfors?
Do I know?
Give us a
society check. Dang it, it's a 3.
No, you don't know who they are. You don't know who the Belfors are. And Hayden says, yes, sir, they left just 2 days ago. They did leave word that they would be back in time for the ball. And Michael looks at you and kind of offhand and says, the Belfors are cousins of mine from Jelliax, so it will be interesting. You'll be able to speak with them about their lives there as well. That would be good. And then he looks at
deception check to see if I
yes,
hide
go ahead.
the reaction there. 7 plus 11, so an 18.
You were able to mask the deeper of the emotions, but Sir Michael does see the slight hesitation and the freeze that happens on your face in that moment. And he says, he just kind of takes note and moves forward. He said, and he Ana is has her back to him, and she just kind of looks over at you in that moment and is like, okay. And
Aas whispers under his breath,
but then all of the arrangements are made, and Ana is taken upstairs with Hayden, and she is deposited in her room, which is the largest room she has ever seen in her entire life. And then Amir takes you up to the yellow room. When you open the door, or when he opens the door and ushers you in, it is a beautiful, while maybe not opulent, it is still a very luxurious room. It has a very nice queen-size bed. There is a fainting type couch like thing against the wall. There's a small desk, a small writing desk in the far corner, a fireplace that, as it is late spring, there's no fire in it at the moment. It's not chilly out. It's still it's getting to a season where it's going to be a little hotter. And there is a private restroom, which is also very nice for you, to the side, with a large pitcher of water and a large bowl there as well for you if you would like to refresh yourself in any way. And Amir points to the bed and says, so these will be your accommodations for your stay here with Sir Michael. I assume, considering the fact that you do not have any type of luggage or bags, that you do not have anything to sleep in.
The road has left me with the clothes on my back.
Yes. Okay. We have things. We are a home of clothing, of course. So there is things that I can bring you. Do you want just a sleeping outfit and I will wash your clothing and have it ready for you in the morning, or would you like a different outfit for tomorrow?
The sleeping outfit would be helpful. There is no need for the wash. And then he is going to, I'm going to cast Prestidigitation, and he just watches the clothes clean themselves, and the road, dust of the road just falls off.
Okay. Amir does not react really in any way. He is a very, very well-established butler, so he's pretty much trained himself not to react to anything. He says, very well, sir. I will go get that sleeping outfit for you, and if you need anything, please just ring the bell on the far side. And you see a long rope with a bell that is lifted up on the top, and it says, if you ring that, it will come straight down to the butler's pantry, and I will be able to help you and assist you in any way that you may need. And then he kind of slightly bows, and he turns around, shutting the door behind him to go get the outfit.
As he's about to leave, As thanks him and then makes a comment. I don't know anything about butlers myself, actually, but he makes some comment. It makes a comment something like that would give the butler an indication that As knows what goes into being a butler, and it's kind of like that kind of shop talk type comment he makes.
Okay.
To the butler as he's leaving.
Give me
diplomacy, society.
Give me diplomacy.
Okay. Oh, cocked.
That's cocked. Yeah.
Oh, dang it! That's only a force of 15.
Because you'd already made a pretty dang good impression previously. Yes. He is going to smile, and you see the professional, like, buttle kind of thing start to. That is a fun word, buttle. That's an actual word. That's an actual word for it's called buttling. To be a butler.
Wow.
And like the actual word for it is buttling.
Today's episode is brought to you by the word buttling.
Buttle.
And the letter 3. There's the letter 3, the number 3. It's quite. The number, not letter.
I was like, we're apparently really tired.
Okay. But yeah, it kind of drops for a second.
So it kind of drops for a second, and you just see that the stoicness kind of drop for a second. He responds, and you guys kind of talk for just a couple of minutes, and then he nods and smiles and says, I will go get you the sleeping outfit, and I will be right back.
And as he's watching these, I'm gonna reach down, cast Prestidigitation one more time. I think I can. Let me make sure that I can.
It's a cantrip, isn't it? You can.
It is, but it's also okay, yeah, I can do it. I just want to check and see if there's like a limit on how many times you can do it in an hour. And I'm gonna do it on the floor where the dust would have fallen.
Oh,
to make that gone too.
Oh, you're so sweet.
Just again, kind of nodding to him.
Yeah.
It's like he's trying to give the impression I'm not here to make your life difficult.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So You are there now, alone, in the room.
In our different rooms.
Mm-hmm. You guys are in different rooms. Anna's having her own experience in the other room.
What do I see in my room?
So it is called the yellow room for a reason. The wallpaper is all yellow flowers, in like daisy chains all the way up the side. That type of very unattractive wallpaper from the Victorian, like the Queen Victoria Revival type homes from the very early 1900s.
Right.
And it's a 4-poster bed that is against the wall. There is a very large window directly next to it. There are drapery type curtains around the bed itself so that it can be completely closed off.
Balcony or anything?
You do not have a balcony. Right. There is just the large window, and you're not really seeing out onto anything either. With it being as late as it is, you can't really see what you see out the window. But in the morning, you're for sure be able to see where you guys are. There is the small bathroom on the if you're facing the wall from like stepping in through the door, the bed is right directly to the front of you. On the right side is the small bathing area. And to the left is where there's the fainting couch and the little writing desk, as well as there's some older pictures on the wall, like paintings that were done. A very large opulent, that this is like the only thing that's really pushing opulence in this room, even though it's really not. It's just luxurious. Is a yellow rug that has it's like a sunflower scene on the floor.
Okay. All right. Well, if there's nothing really that he else to do for the night, he's going to wash up, and get ready for the night.
Okay. As you fall into sleep, you feel the pull of the normal pull where your body starts to get heavy and everything gets hazy and your mind begins to wander. And as it wanders, you're not sure when you fell asleep and when the full transition happened. But in the wandering in your mind, you begin to wander down a pathway. On either side are trees of every type, trees that should not be together but are. And you move without a sense of real purpose, without fear, without concern, as you walk down this path. As you continue farther and farther down this road, the trees begin to change shape. They begin to become less tree and more like paper. And the leaves that fall on top of you, you grab one and you see that it is written word, as if the leaves were made out of the pages of a book. The trees also, you can take a closer look at and see that they are also made out of the pages of books. Give me a perception check.
It's only a 5, so 17.
Okay. As you continue down the road, as it had dissolved into paper, you now begin to see as the paper begins to change colors. And as if electricity is moving through it, different colors of electricity, purple, green, blue, orange, vibrating up through these trees as you move farther and farther into this forest. You still feel no concern. There's no worry, but you are wondering, where does this go? Where am I? As you round a bend in this path, you see a clearing, and in the center of this clearing is a table. The table is long and it is covered in books and is covered in every type of manuscript and scroll, things that look foreign and don't make sense to your mind are all piled on top of this table. And at the very center is a man sitting at this table. What do you want to do?
How close am I to the table?
30 feet.
I will walk towards the table.
Mm-hmm.
And then as I get close, I will most likely look at the books there and pick one up to open and look at it.
Second your finger touches the book, you hear a voice, and it's coming from the man at the table. Mm-hmm. And he says, You think you can read my book?
And whose book am I seeking to read?
The man looks up from the table where he had been writing and scratching and scrawling at the parchment. And you see this man is beautiful, yet distorted. The right half of his face is the stunning picture of a man at the peak of his youth. The other is a grim distortion, as if he had been burned in a fire, red and raw and very, very difficult to look at. And he says to you, if you do not know, you do not belong.
As seeing him, of course knowing who he is, he stands up straighter, his shoulders looks him up. Yes, I will read your book someday.
He smiles. He says, yes, I know. I know. You, and he puts the pen down and stands, and you see he stands much bigger and taller than he actually physically is. His presence surrounds the entire clearing in the glen, and the trees from the paper all shiver as he stands, and it all goes all the way down the mount, through the paper forest. And he puts both hands on the table and leans forward and says, you think you are ready?
And as will put his hands on the table in the same manner, you would not have brought me here if you did not know.
I did not ask if I thought you were ready. I asked if you think you are ready.
Yes, I am always ready to learn, to delve into the mysteries, to find the power that exists independent of God's celestials, abyss, but power that is just there for those with the will to take it.
You hear a very high-pitched giggle at that. And he says, You think you are ready? And you see the side of his face that has the distortion seems to almost come alive, and where it was red and raw, that redness seems to almost flicker with vibrant life. And he says, you don't know what ready is until you've seen it all. And then you'll know if you're ready, but you cannot be ready until you have seen it, but you don't know if you're ready until you've seen it. And that is the way the universe works. Do you not love the abyss?
Who would love the abyss?
The abyss is all. The abyss is around us. The abyss is everything. It is everything and nothing all at the same time. It is creation and destruction. It is all. And he sits back down.
Well then, let us explore what is.
You are not ready. But you will be. Soon. They are coming. And once they get to you, you'll be ready.
They?
And with a flash, you wake up in the beautiful bed with the ridiculous comforter that is on top of you. And to the left, right, to the right, you see on the nightstand a book. And that is where we are going to end tonight.
Ah! That is God of magic.
All right, you guys. Oh my gosh. Tonight was a freaking whirlwind. I'm so glad we are finally in Kintargo. Okay, next time we travel, I think I am going to have you teleport. Jeez. That was brutal. 3 sessions of traveling. That was harsh. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, you guys. We are so happy that you are all still with us. Thank you for sticking with us through the end. If you really like us or like the thing or want to hear me sing again, go ahead and subscribe.
Yeah, so definitely, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Also, we have, you can, if you want to know our full schedule, you can just type in.
I know, since tonight, right? Finally, we've made progress.
You can just type in, I believe it's !schedule.
Yep, !schedule. It was just this for this week. It was just yesterday and today's. Next week is going to be a little bit more full, which is going to be exciting. I have a special appearance on Play Nerd Allies, their channel. We're going to be building some stuff, and I'm going to be singing some songs, which is fun because that's what we do. We're building a tavern, and we're a bunch of bards.
Also, because we hit the subscriber goal, we are going to be doing the watch party. We'll be watching Dragon Slayer from 1981, a classic.
Yep, and the watch party is available to everyone, but the only people that are going to be able to actually chat with us will be our subscribers. So if you want to be a part of all of the crazy chatting that's going to happen, or I don't know, maybe it's just going to be me and you by ourselves because our 5 subscribers can't come. But go ahead and subscribe, and
I think that's
everything. Next week we get more into Kintargo and hopefully meet the Domina.
We'll see where things go.
We shall see.
Now I've got to start testing the waters on how people feel about the Bellflower Network and everything. And find out, am I surrounded by allies or am I surrounded by problems?
We are about to join a very interesting part of the story.
All right. Well, thank you all
with
again.
that, there is one other thing.
Yes.
And with that, we have officially reached Kintargo, and our characters have leveled
Woo-hoo!
up.
Level 6.
We are now level 6. Andoriana and Az are going to be a little bit more powerful the next time you see them.
Boom. Well, I don't go up spell levels yet.
No,
but
you don't go up. We do get some more
feats.
Because as one person said online, Pathfinder has a feet fetish. Anyway, all right, you guys, we love you very much. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you next week on the Scions.
And remember, it only takes 2.
Good night, you guys.